I remember driving through the garage of Sweeney Hall thinking, this is really happening, this is really happening. And then walking down towards to the elevator of Sweeney Hall, I had to pause and think to myself if I really wanted to go up there, do I really belong? And so I stood there for 5 minutes and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go up, but I am thankful that I did go up to meet the cohort. Think about this program, what stands out in my mind is the cohort. So that's one of the main things, the selection process is so important, and having the right people that mesh and can push back in a respectful manner, and that's priceless. They're a great group of talented, insightful, and compassionate people, and I'm glad to have met you guys, and because you guys have made me a better professional, and more importantly, a better person. And you guys give me the lens to see the world through equity and compassion that I didn't have before. I've learned a lot about myself throughout this journey. I learned that I have more to give than I ever knew. I learned that my voice and opinion matters, and that I need to make them be heard. And this program and again the cohort itself have given me these tools, have given me this confidence and the ability to say, yeah, Long, your opinion matters. You need to let people know. You need to share your knowledge and share your wealth of information. And so that itself was my journey. It's been difficult, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I would do it all over again.
The biggest lesson in terms of this program has been believing in myself, believing that I have the skills, the knowledge, the potential to accomplish a doctoral degree, and with that expanding my knowledge and hopefully being able to take that knowledge into the actual work field and being able to make smart decisions based on what I've learned.
This program has been the hardest challenge that I have ever undertaken on a mental level, and it has been very rewarding. It's been difficult. It's been a transformative experience, to say the least. When I started the program, I was working as a high school administrator, and I had a very limited scope on the education system. And as I went through the program, I started to see more and more angles of the education system, and it has allowed me to get more of a global perspective on the work I'm doing with students and teachers and communities. And depending on the semester, I was able to focus on, I guess, a whole new topic that I've never really explored before. And collectively, these topics have allowed me to be a little bit more well-rounded and intentional about the work I'm doing. And I look forward to going back into the public school system and making a positive impact for students, teachers, and communities.
Before getting the degree, I just really saw a path that was, be a principal, and I think I would have gotten stuck, but I've been so unstuck the whole time. Everything that I've learned in the dissertation, I've immediately taken back to my site and shared with the students and with the staff and with my colleagues. And after the program, my husband and I are moving to Thailand because I'm going to be a principal in Bangkok. And before the program, I never would have even thought to do that. But now I feel like I really have the confidence and the skill and just the interest in global citizenship and becoming a different sort of leader.
This program has meant a lot to me. I would say it was life-changing. Being in a position that I'm in as a director of diversity at a private school, it allowed me to think about how I could develop my skills in my role to serve students from different backgrounds. And more than anything, I would say that it was a healing process because attending schools hasn't always been an easy thing, given some of the challenges that I had to endure throughout my life. And so I just think that in this program, I was able to develop a greater sense of how could we help children who are confronting so many issues make it through our educational system, grades K through 12, and graduate feeling prepared for college. So I would say this program in particular has allowed me to hone those skills so that I could be able to be that person to support other kids throughout their educational journeys.
It's been an adventure. It's like boot camp for the body, mind, and soul. And as I think about what I've gotten out of it, it's been amazing. because in the moments when it's hardest, it helps to think, I wanted this because it's my own growth and my own development, and it's got hope. But at its heart, it's also a selfish decision, a decision that says, I think I can, and I deserve to learn and want to learn. The program has helped me to see the water of education that I did not see before, the context and the larger history. It's given me some perspective, confidence, and tools to use to make a bigger impact in the world around me, as I'm privileged to try.
What I got most out of the program is the critical thinking and how to be a consumer of the research that I'm reading and everything that I'm hearing of educational practices, and to think about, okay, what does this really mean and how is it being interpreted and how does it mean for certain populations that I'm working with. I think that I'm a much better consumer of the practices and the research that I'm seeing now. I am thinking about, how was this determined? Who is this going to be best for? Who was the study done at? And so I'm much better able to look at this research and then determine how it's going to be utilized in the setting that I'm in.
Some of the biggest challenges is the way our professors have pushed us to think differently. And it has really shifted my practice as a leader. I would say one of the biggest takeaways has been being able to go internationally and look at an educational system, but also embed ourselves with individuals who have less than what we have, and really value what education here in the United States is. But it offers a different perspective of equity when we talk about equity. That we have to take as leaders when we're leading school change. The doctoral program has made me reflect on my leadership and allowed me to think critically about the decisions that I make on a daily basis, because not only do they impact students, but they impact the educational system as a whole. It also has allowed me to reflect and really think about leadership when it comes to creating transformational change in schools and in districts.
I'd like to thank Arnold Danzig for bringing the first 16 together. We do rock. I especially want to thank him for our trip to Costa Rica, the service day we had at La Carpio, the trip to the technical high school, and the megatrends conversation. I'd also like to thank Arnie for bringing together a diverse group of faculty. Every single one of our instructors, I can recall specific moments where they challenged me, inspired me, sometimes consoled me. And one of the moments that I'm recalling is a time where cohorts 1 and 2 were together, and I was standing before David Berliner and asking Jean Glass, who was on the Jumbotron that day, my question. And it was a moment that represented many different truths.
This is an excellent program. I think I didn't know exactly what was doctoral program in education leadership, but I found that all our professors are very diverse. They present different perspectives. They're very supportive and kind, and pushing us to do the best. So I think this was something that is going to stay with me all my life.
My dissertation topic was about school culture and climate, and so my hope in my own direct experience in being part of this doctorate program is that I would experience the same things I was researching. Part of what came up was the importance of relationships and supports, and being seen as an individual and unique. And I feel like I've experienced that in this doctorate program at San Jose State. I work in alternative education at the County Office of Education, and one of the key pieces I think that's needed in that population is to increase the rigor and to increase accountability, but in a way that stays connected to the empathy. And I think this program has really given me some tools to be able to bring in the strong empathic skills that I already have, but add some of those other pedagogical and rigorous and accountability skills.
Being part of the first 16 cohort was a journey of struggle and triumph, both personally and professionally. During the 3 years, I was reminded about the power of collective collaboration and standing firmly in what I believe as an educational leader if it is in the best interest of my students, especially being the voice of our most marginalized students. Our life experiences shape our leadership landscape and how we lead. That is what made part of being part of this first 16 cohort so great. Each one of us brings our unique perspective and can dynamically change the institutions that we work in by taking a systems thinking approach to change.
The thing that I got the most out of the program is that whatever I do, it does have an impact on my community, on my students. As teachers, sometimes we feel we're not making great improvements towards our students' education, but we are actually doing that. Sometimes we don't see it right away, but eventually we will see it. The doctoral program has meant a lot to me. Actually, this was the last thing on my bucket list, and I feel grateful and thankful to San Jose State for providing me with an opportunity to check my last item on my bucket list.